The void of space ignited into a brilliant sphere of incandescent plasma. Commander Vance stood at the helm, the deck vibrating beneath her boots as a localized singularity collapsed another enemy cruiser. Gravity mines sheared the heavy plating of the Xylon warships like paper. Around her, holographic displays flashed with blinding speed, tracking the metallic swarm of Terran nanites, systematically devouring the remaining alien dreadnoughts. The Xylon Empire built weapons to win battles. But as the command ship shuddered under the relentless onslaught, it became glaringly obvious that humanity built weapons to end wars. Yet merely 20 minutes before this dazzling display of asymmetric warfare, the space around the sector had been perfectly still. Fleet Master Vorlak reclined in his command throne. A smug expression settled on his scaled features. His armada of 30 heavily armored destroyers formed an inescapable perimeter around a lone, bulky vessel. The registry identified it as the Solar Drifter, a Terran hauler. History and military doctrine warned of the peril of arrogance, that relying on past victories and underestimating an opponent based on superficial traits often leads to catastrophic tactical failures. Vorlak ignored history. He saw only a slow, lumbering prize waiting to be claimed. They thought they were hunting a helpless lamb, but they had just cornered an apex predator. On the bridge of the seemingly defenseless hauler, Commander Vance watched the animal formation tighten. Her crew worked with a calm, precise energy. There was no panic, only the steady hum of consoles and the rapid click of keystrokes. Never mistake a human's emotional restraint for weakness. The Xylon demanded immediate capitulation, broadcasting their terms on all frequencies. To Vorlak, the silence from the Terran ship signaled paralyzing fear. In reality, this fabricated surrender wasn't an act of cowardice. It was the ultimate intelligence-gathering operation. Vance's sensors catalogued every shield frequency, weapon signature, and engine harmonic of the surrounding armada. Pure numerical superiority was about to be dismantled by perfect, custom-engineered countermeasures. "Commander," her tactical officer reported, eyes locked on the glowing screens. "They are in optimal range, all targets acquired." Vance felt the familiar surge of adrenaline, a heat that sharpened her focus into a razor edge. Her mind flashed to the massacre at Aegis 7, the unprovoked strike that had set this trap in motion. Naval archives spoke of Q-ships masking a heavily armed warship as a vulnerable merchant vessel to draw the enemy close. It was an ancient, devastatingly effective strategy, and the Xylon had sailed right into the snare. "Drop the camouflage," Vance ordered, her voice cutting through the hum of the bridge. "Deploy the nanite swarms and arm the gravity mines. Let Fleet Master Vorlak see exactly who he pulled over." Holographic projectors powered down and structural baffles jettisoned into the void, revealing the sleek, predatory hull of the TNS Vengeance. Warning sirens erupted across the Xylon communications network, a chaotic chorus replacing their confident demands. The trap was sprung. The TNS Vengeance surged forward, its primary thrusters igniting with the fury of a captive star. Vance gripped the edges of her console, gritting her teeth against the intense vibration of the ship's heavy accelerators, spooling to maximum yield. Execute. Space warped outward. The deployed gravity mines detonated simultaneously, creating a cascading sequence of localized singularities. The Xylon destroyers nearest to the Vengeance were caught instantly in the crush. Heavy armored plating sheared away like paper, swallowed by the sheer gravitational pull before catastrophic engine failures ripped the ships apart from the inside out. Blinding flashes of brilliant plasma turned the sector into a high-speed theater of destruction. Then came the silver tide. Canisters launched from the Terran warship burst open across the enemy formation, releasing clouds of custom-engineered nanites. They swept over the remaining Xylon cruisers in a coordinated swarm. On Vance's tactical display, the enemy's signatures rapidly blinked out of existence. The nanites bypassed shields entirely, devouring weapon arrays and propulsion systems with terrifying speed. The Xylon fired frantically into the void, their targeting computers failing as their ships dissolved around them in an unrelenting blur of motion. Fleetmaster Vorlak slammed his fists onto his command console. His flagship groaned under the stress of a targeted gravity pulse, violently throwing his crew to the deck. Systems failed. Alarms shrieked. Through the main viewport he watched the invincible might of the Xylon Empire reduced to expanding clouds of ionized gas. A communication link forced its way through his shattered security protocols. Commander Vance appeared on the main screen. There was no triumph in her expression only, the cold, calculated certainty of an apex predator looking down at its prey. "Fleet Master Vorlak," Vance said, her voice cutting through the chaos on his bridge. "Your ship has been spared, but its engines and weapons are disabled. Aegis 7 is avenged." Vorlak stared back, the heat of sudden realization burning through his arrogance. They had been utterly dismantled. "Return to your Emperor," Vance continued. "Deliver this message. Humanity does not desire a galaxy consumed by fire, but we possess the absolute capability to ignite it. If a single Xylon vessel enters Terran space again, we will not stop at your fleets. We will dismantle your shipyards, your armories, and your command structures." Outside Vorlak's viewport, the TNS Vengeance rotated, its engines flaring once more. In a blinding streak of sapphire light, the lone warship breached the slip-space barrier and vanished. Within hours, the telemetry of the engagement would reach the Xylon High Command. The sheer, overwhelming scale of the technological mismatch sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Faced with the reality of an enemy that could erase armadas in minutes, the Xylon Empire ordered an immediate, unconditional retreat from every Terran border. The war was over before it even truly began. Would you like me to create another story scenario with different genres and constraints, or should we explore the political fallout of the Xylon retreat?